Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. Wednesday, March 27th. We're almost through the month of March here. The year's screaming by. So you can see we're just going to do a midweek recap, see where we are. We're kind of seem to be stalled here. You'll see that when we go through the indexes, but you can see the kinds of days, the couple days we've been having in the last couple days, happened Tuesday as well. We sold off and then came back and Dow closed pretty close to being unchanged. Nasdaq down a little bit more, S&P, but the pattern's been to sell off and then come back, and I'm not sure when that's going to change, but there always seems to be some buyers after we get a sell-off. The sell-off was a little steeper today than the Tuesday. And you can see here we're still slipping a little bit with the internals. Some stocks slipping below their 50 and 200 day, more stocks slipping below the 50 and 200 day moving averages here. Take a look at the groups. That always tells us a little bit about where money's going. You can see on the week, utilities, consumer goods, safety trades, not surprising at all. That's where things seem to be heading. So let's look at, we've been talking about an inverted inverted yield curve, and let's just take a look here quickly. I'll just chat about that for a second for some people that maybe don't know what that means, and you maybe heard of it in the news. So these are the treasuries, and this is what people look at when they're looking at the yield curve. And one of the things they look at, you can see here on the 3-month Treasury, it's 2.447, up a bit today. And you can see here on the 10-year, 2.345, so that's lower than the 3-month. And it actually dropped even more today. So this is what's called an inverted yield curve. So when you've got higher rates on a shorter term. So if you think of it like your mortgage, if you're going out for a mortgage, the longer you wanted to lock in, the higher the interest rate you're going to pay. But what's happening right now is that the interest rates are lower when you go further out. So this is why people are concerned, maybe a harbinger for a recession, because this often happens before a recession happens. And that's why you hear people talking about this inversion of the yield curve. You can see here, even between the 1-year and the 2-year and the 5-year, they're inverted. So the shorter time frames are actually paying a higher interest rate. And then you've got bond yields in Europe. I don't think they've got them on here, but if you got bond rates in Europe are actually in the negative now. So a little bit scary, and if you're a bull in the market, and we'll take a look at where we are with the indexes. Now let's take a look here. So this is the US Treasury 10-year, and you can see here we're just dropping off a cliff, 2.39, just like we talked about, and it's heading. Looks like it's headed lower. I don't know how much lower it can go, but certainly it's not. It doesn't bode well for stocks. So this is the Dow Jones. You can see here, if you drew two lines this way and this way, we're really narrowing right into a pendant. So typically when this happens, you get a break. Either you get a break up or you get a break down. Always possible to get a consolidation. It could be choppy in this 26,000 to 25,500 range, but RSI right at 50, right in the middle. Not much volume, dropping off a bit today. MACD getting weaker. So let's take a look at the weekly again, sort of tapering into this pendant. So let's just keep moving along here. Same story with the small caps. Sort of narrowing into a pendant there. RSI below 50, and maybe this moving average may end up looks like it almost lost this. It did lose this moving average today, so that's not good for the small caps. That's the weekly. QQQs again made a top here, maybe made a lower high here. The weekly again, these dojis are indication that maybe we got some topping action. And there's the SPY, the large cap, and again sort of tapering a bit, and average volume weekly. Again, this doji, not a great doji, and another one forming here. We'll see how the week ends. US dollar continues to strengthen, and maybe might be impacting gold trades and some of the other commodities. And the VIX this is the one thing. VIX isn't really, if you really got some perceived risk in the market, you would expect the VIX to go up, and it did go up and then pulled back, just as we saw with the markets that that sold off and then came back up at the end of the day. So let's take a look at what we've got quickly on the actives, what we're in. Avco, I'm still hoping this is going to break higher to 6. The market's not helping here, but it does look like it wants to go higher. So I'm still holding on to some of that. Coke, obviously a consumer product. It's had a nice run higher, or maybe going to do a little consolidation. 47 should be this area should be an area of resistance, so I would expect that. So still holding on to that. The XLU pulled back today, so it did hit 59 and then did a pretty significant pullback, but we've been involved in it back here 58, so it's okay. Just going to hang on to that. And what do we got? What are we watching here? Let's just take a look. This is BI. I wanted to play this for a bounce, and actually did get the bounce, and I didn't take an entry on it. So that was a good idea, but no follow through on my part. Emerging markets selling off again. If the dollar strengthens, these are going to drop. So we're watching the dollar and strength for the EM, which will be, if the dollar's strong, this will be weak, which is what's showing. And again, the strong dollar, nuggets sold off a little bit today. Did kind of do a breakout, so I'll be watching it here. Maybe if it pulls back, it might want to continue higher. Could be a bit of a safety trade too. Semiconductors rolling over here, kind of at a critical area of support, and we'll see if that holds. Could maybe short that. So I've been looking at TZA. I put a TZA trade on yesterday, and then I took it off when the market came back. And looking at it again, I actually bought some right at the close, TZA. So it does look like it wants to go higher, and 11 could be sort of next level of resistance here. So I might add to my position tomorrow, depending on how the market looks, but always cognizant of the fact that the market always tends to find a way to come back after a sell-off. So we'll see if Wednesday or Thursday repeats itself. UNG, and I know one of our other traders, at least one of our other traders, took DGAS on this breakdown. That was nice. I didn't take DGAS, but I had a Canadian version of it, and bought a little bit when it was there. So up on the day for that. But it is reporting tomorrow, so we'll see what the natural gas inventories look like at 7:30. So UWT, again, this seems to be going nowhere right now. This is your crude oil, and so just watching that. But dollar strengthens, this will drop. It could actually continue higher against the dollar, but these are often tied to the dollar. So, all right, well, that's it, everybody. I hope you all had a great day, and I know we've got in our day trading chat room, we got a challenge going on. That's a lot of excitement there. I think we're up to about 200 traders are participating in that, and we're looking forward to seeing how everyone does at the end of the week there. That's it. Have a good evening, everyone. If you haven't checked out my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade by Brian Pezzin, it's there for the taking. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye for now.